Scary time. Is everybody awake out there? I don't think so. What do we have going on? Well, this administration, this government has us fighting on about 10 different fronts each and every day. Constantly changes. Some people are paying attention, a lot of people are not paying attention. They don't have the time to do so. That's understandable. We're trying to take care of our families, live our life, survive. And we're trying to do this under the circumstances that we're faced with. This country, America, we are at a place right now where we have never been before. All of our history, over 200 years of history, and this country has never been faced with anything as dangerous, as destructive, as threatening as we are under right now. The border situation has been out of control from day one, which tells you it was all deliberate. We're sitting here looking at over 7 million illegal entries into the United States. Probably much more than that. We know perfectly well that there is carnage, suffering, pain, death that has occurred by the cartel-controlled, U.S. government-allowed illegal crossings. Now imagine that. Imagine that we're talking about horrific beatings, murders, women being trafficked, people being trafficked, children being trafficked. And we're supposed to just sit here and accept it? We're supposed to do what? Nothing. As they invade our country. This is a literal invasion. 10,000 troops went into Ukraine and war was declared. And they're fighting for their democracy, which is bullshit. But that's the excuse. But our borders are wide ass open. They're wide open, free flowing. This government, our government, only find ways, they find ways to get them in faster, to play with the numbers by putting out a cell phone app that people are flying here on our dime, our dollar, to whatever state, city they want to go to. And they're flying them in. Estimates have been far over 200,000 that have done that. Now just imagine, out of 7 million, how many of those are terrorists? How many are those draining from out of the prisons in other countries? Mental institutions. How many deaths have been caused by those making the journey, by those crossing the border? How many deaths, how much agony, how much the rapes, murders of women and children. And we just sit here, and these people that support this horrific act of this open border policy, which is against and a violation of federal laws, and we do nothing. We don't speak out nearly enough. We don't yell loud enough. And we're being distracted by 10 other different things going on across our country that are wrong. We have a weaponized, politicized Department of Justice and all the other offices of our government currently. Ask yourself, if our Congress is worth a damn, if we have any good people left, why haven't they done anything by now? In 3 years, why haven't they done anything? Why hasn't Mayorkas been brought in and impeached for blatantly lying to us, the American people? And everyone else who's told that same lie, everyone else who has repeated it, standing there saying, the border is secure, the border is secure, the border is secure. Don't believe what you actually see happening. Oh, no, 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 no. Believe us in telling lie after lie after lie. Invading our country, allowing the invasion of our country. Let that sink in. Allowing the invasion of America. And the repercussions from this will not be just the immediate repercussions of them coming in here. The repercussions are going to be tenfold over a long period of time, because they're here now. They are here. For every American citizen that is injured, hurt, killed, raped, which is already taking place, all these things that are happening, our government is responsible. The individuals, the groups are responsible, but so is our government, and we are allowing this to continue because we are not speaking out loud enough, in enough numbers. We are not getting Congress's attention. We sure as hell aren't getting the Senate's attention. This is what they want. If the government turns on us further, then what's going to happen? Do you think the entire military is going to act against Americans if they decide to declare martial law for some real or unreal reason that it might be declared? Do you think our own government could declare war on the average American? They already have. They already have declared war on us. They've declared war on our freedoms. They use the DOJ to try to frighten everyone from taking a stand. They use J6 as a way of frightening everyone. Oh, don't dare stand up against the government. Don't stand against the government. If you stand against government, this is what happens to you. This is what's going to come. We'll destroy your life. All your freedoms, your due process will be just swept under the rug, just like all the J6 people, and we will just imprison you without trial, without due process, and violate every one of your civil rights. This is the case that we're faced with. They're using a fear tactic to make people afraid to stand up, to speak out. This is absolutely horrific. This is beyond the pale of anything we've experienced or faced in our entire history. They're going after Donald Trump, their leading political opponent, and they're doing what third world banana republics are doing to their opponents. Maybe a little bit different, but it's all the same. It's exactly the same. Trying to pursue, crucify, lock up your opponent so you can win the next election. And there could be people out there saying all day long, oh, there was no cheating, there was no cheating. And we were supposed to have that red wave in 22 and it didn't happen. And they blamed it on this and they blamed it on that. Bullshit. They did some of the same cheating then as they did in 20. I don't care who believes that or doesn't believe it. There's enough evidence out there that has been produced. But this government, under cover of the DOJ and with a lot of judges in their control and a lot of the same politicians on both sides of the aisle that are making this possible. We are in a horrific situation. Our schools are indoctrinating children, spreading CRT, which is bullshit. They make up these things. They create these things out of whole cloth, out of thin air that really don't exist. And they try to make everyone believe that they do with their propaganda. Sure, why not? They have the mainstream media. They have big tech, which is a propaganda wing of their ideals. They're running the Marxist socialist playbook page by page and have been for years. They still are. This is what they're doing. This is their goal. We will be like China, or worse, like North Korea, if we don't change course, if we do not stand up and speak out. This is where we're going. Your life will be affected. All these people coming across the border, how many of them are gang members? How many of them will set up their gangs here throughout the United States? How many are terrorists? How many are sleeper cells of terrorists, waiting for instructions and orders to attack our infrastructure and disable us at the right time, or at any time under their choosing? How many of the cartel members themselves have come across the border and are laying low here in the United States? 100,000, over 100,000 deaths from fentanyl, drug overdoses. 100,000 people dead. Dead Americans. Countries torn apart. Counties, cities, states torn apart. Families ripped to pieces from the experience of the death of someone in their family from the gang violences or the drug overdoses. And what is our government doing about any of this? That much death, that much utter evil destruction. And enough of us aren't able to stand up and speak out. Why? Because of the fear? The fear that they'll come after you? What do you think they're going to do even if you don't go after them? And I'm not purporting for violence. And you say, like I say, the same thing. You ask the same question. What can we do? What is there to do? We can speak up. We can call it out every time we see it. We can fight back without becoming violent. My thoughts automatically go to Gandhi. Look what Gandhi accomplished in a non-violent way. He did something that was miraculous at that time. And I'm telling you, as sure as I'm sitting here, that's what we need today, here. If we don't fight this back, and I'm not sure that we're not at a point already that it's not recoverable. I don't know that we can recover from all of this. Sexualizing our children in schools, indoctrinating them, teaching them to hate America. Most kids, even in college, can't tell you anything about civics. Can't tell you anything that's true about our history. And sure don't believe in patriotism. That was the country that I was growing up in. and it seems to be gone. No, it's not wrong. It's the Marxist playbook. It's the socialist playbook. And you people on the left that agree with this, that go along with all this bullshit, I can assure you that eventually they will come for you. When they take our freedoms, when they take our livelihood, when they are starving us, which they are already doing between inflation, prices, cutting off farms, cutting off oil and gas, they're already killing us. And we can get to a point where it is almost impossible to come back. Almost impossible to regain our freedom and our life again, and our country. Those of you on the left running your big mouth, they will come for you. When they take the freedoms, they will take your freedoms. You won't be excluded, or you won't be excluded for very long. When they have enough of a stranglehold on us, you'll be included. And they're going to take you too. They're going to take your freedoms. They're going to take your food. Maybe take your life. Is that the way you really want to go? Do you really want to risk the chance that you're wrong? Do you want to support something, all this insanity, and it is truly insanity with no common sense? No, men can't be women. Women can't be men. That's a scientific fact. How about a what if? What if everything that we've heard about the C-19 and the shot and all of that, what if that was a designed purpose? What if that was a lie? It was. It's already been proven many times over. The masking, the fear-mongering, the insistence, everything they did to force by coercion or by propaganda and brainwashing and lies, it's still the same thing. What if we're right? What if there is almost irreparable total damage done from the so-called vaccine, which doesn't really qualify as a vaccine? They changed the definition to meet it. That doesn't change the fact that it didn't. What if thousands upon thousands more will die or be injured because of it? What if you've been had? What if you finally realize that they've killed us, loved ones? What if you figure that out? Then what? Is it too late? If enough of us do not wake up, do not understand this, if we don't come to terms and reason that we are being had on every level to simply take us over for their power, for their money, their control, the one world government, one world order, all these things are out there right in front of you. If you look, they're there. WEF, WHO, UN, it's all bullshit. And they're using that to slowly encircle us, slowly bring us in closer and closer, slowly cage us in until eventually you won't have enough room to breathe, to move, much less have any freedom. Continue on this path, and that is where we will be. And that includes those of you that think you know the other side. Wake up now, or we may never have the chance.